Hey. Good morning. Guten Morgen. How are you guys? My dudes, my friends, my dudettes. Gotta tweet this out, it's very important. You guys should retweet it if you would be so kind. Ooga chaka, ooga chaka, ooga. That's what I like to hear. That gets me going. You do an extra so you can have time. No, this is for today's video actually. I'm actually behind schedule, so to speak. But you know, I was just gonna record because my sleep has been really bad lately, all over the place. No big deal. But you know. Hi Joel, do you need a radio master? What's that? Is that like a program or a... But yeah, so I figured, you know, if I'm gonna record the stories, might as well stream them. Because sometimes I feel bad. I feel like you guys get really stoked about the streams, and so do I, you know what I mean? And I don't want to like get in this rhythm where I like just call off streams all the time and stuff, you know. Liz, is this real? This is as real as it gets, baby. This is really, really, really real. I know, early ass stream. Yeah, you know, that's kind of good too, is for new people. They can catch a stream whenever, otherwise I'm normally streaming like late at night. I need a sound machine to help me sleep. It's not even necessarily that like I have trouble sleeping per se, it's just that I get into this rhythm where I'm like falling asleep at like 7 a.m., you know what I mean? And I'm just stuck in night shift sleep. But the past 2 days I've just literally only been sleeping, which has been good, but also kind of wacky, because now I'm here. I took a sleep time machine to the early morn, which could be good. Boise McSnatchy with the 5 says, morning from Happy Valley, Utah. Oh shit. Yeah, you guys got lots of snowy snow down there? Is it all that pow pow? The early morning crew, baby. I get to hear you oh, you're off for 3 forking days. Hell yeah. Long weekend. But it's gonna be your own weekend. The God of Pez with 5 says, hey, listen, early gang in the building. Little let's read before work. Don't mind if I do, Joel. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Hey, you know, yeah, catch me before you go to work. We can pretend this is one of our favorite radio shows. But unfortunately, like most radio shows, I don't really have a whole lot to say other than these stories. I know some people like to go through, what do they do on radio shows? They talk about like the news of the day, shit like that. The Mormons pray for the fresh pow pow. Are they doing rain dances out there, those Mormons? Making it walkie slush. I feel like it would be awkward. I don't know. I feel like it would be awkward if I started talking about like current events and shit like that. Just because I feel like it's not fun, you know? Because current events currently are not fun at all. they're not really interesting. They're usually negative. Just like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of negativity lately because of Kavad. I'm about to make some morning chai. Hell yeah. Any cybersecurity majors? I feel like I had some friends that went to cybersecurity school. I feel like I could benefit from some of their skills. Oh, Alec is even here. Pez, you're dreading going to work. Yeah, what do you do for work? Well, you don't have to say that if you don't want to, but just curious. Joey, that's a new name. With the 5 says, Joel, working 7 to 4 Monday through Friday. Nothing makes me happier than seeing Let's Read Live pop up. Thank you for being great. You're welcome, Joey. It's good to see you. Thank you, thank you. Hope work is going well for you. I know, I guess if it's 9:45 on the East Coast here, it's probably like 6 something for West Coasters, and who knows what other time in the rest of the world. What am I doing, a face reveal? I'm doing it right now. It's just like, the only way to see it is you need to be in my room. Oh yes, thank you, Fry, for the reminder. Please, well, if you haven't, join the Discord if you feel like it. That's one good way to circumnavigate YouTube's terrible notification system. Discord is always like 100% on top of that shit. And yeah, follow my TikTok. I made a community post about that. And this is funny. It's just like a lot of comments like, all right, we lost another one, boys. You know, like, it seems like a lot of people have a lot of disdain for TikTok. And like, huh. Dee, that's interesting. I wonder how I got mentioned. Huh. Did he mention it? That'd be weird. But yeah, I don't know. The TikTok right now, I don't know if you guys have any ideas, but as of right now, it kind of sucks because it's like just 1-minute videos. So you're kind of like limited on how much you can post. So right now I'm kind of like posting the old 2-sentence horror story animations that I have. But I'm thinking like once I get through those, oh, how can you get in the Discord? Oh yeah, somebody Fry had linked it earlier, but he can, I'm sure he'll link it again for you. But yeah, so basically I just am posting my 2-sentence horror stories, yeah, my OnlyFans, on there, the animated ones. And then from there, you know, they might not be animated anymore, I feel like, because I'm just gonna like do narrations of 2-sentence horror stories, maybe like three per video, you know, 3 per post or something. I don't really know. I mean, it's just another way to promote myself, and if you guys have any ideas for like visuals that go along with it, that would be cool. I know some people do story time stuff and just kind of like have somebody like drawing in the background. I'm not even sure, but RP Solar, thank you for the $3. Appreciate that. Thank you. And RP Solar again with the 2 says, doing schoolwork. Hell yeah. Get it done. Get on that grind, baby. Get to doing maths, quick maths, and or Englishes and writings. I guess it doesn't have to be English. Granny Gamer with the 10 says, great hearing your smooth voice. Thank you, Granny. We'll see you at holiday. Oh, yes. Best Rena in town with the 5 says, hello from Anchorage, Alaska. Oh, cool. My buddy, his wife is actually, she grew up in Anchorage. And it seems like a cool place. They have a show called 2-Sentence Horror Stories. You know what's really weird though is like, I honestly really wonder sometimes like what the creepypasta and like horror narration community, you know, to a degree has done for inspiring certain, you know, like certain horror shows and stuff like that, like seeing stuff like 2 sentence horror stories, like, you know, my one video with Axeman cartoons, it's at like 3 million views, so those people had to have been slightly inspired by that, potentially. And then there was obviously other people that did it way before me as well, and I don't know. Tell you to skip class. Oh wait, tell me not to skip class or I'm gonna go feral. I hate school. Yeah, don't skip class. We don't want you to end up as a homeless, rabid, rabies-infected monster that is feral in the sheets. Just kidding. Try and get your voice to sound like me, Nightmare. Oh, is it Mr. Nightmare? Hey, I'm Mr. Nightmare. I don't really know. What does Mr. Nightmare even sound like? When I was younger, I feel like his voice, like, it's not a bad voice for sure. It's just, to me, it's very just kind of, like, it's almost like generic, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing really wildly unique about it, I suppose. Or, like, that jumps out to me. It's just simply a voice. RP Solar with the 5 says, use Brainly, guys. It's a great app for finding answers. Love you, let's read. Brainly. Huh. What is Brainly? I never heard of that. He sounds like a football player. Oh, Hannah dropped out of school? Wait, Hannah, I thought you finished school. I swear I thought you finished school. He sounds like Kevin from The Office. That's funny. Yeah, we live, Kuru. Welcome, welcome. Wonder what, like, I don't know, like, sometimes I just wonder, like, what are Mr. Nightmare's, like, goals as, like, a, because he's very not very vocal as far as, like, his social media presence and that kind of thing. Let's look at his channel real quick. He's got True Scary Stories with footage. With 700, I mean, if you get like 700k views, it's like, and then in like a week, at that point, I guess he just doesn't really give a shit. He's just doing his thing. Pretty dope, though. It's so funny, like, he's had so much success, and I figured, like, by now, he would have, like, upgraded his, I don't know, like, upgraded his equipment or upgraded his, like, thumbnails and shit. But, like, if you look, like, they're not, you know, they're not terrible. They get the job done, but they're just, I just feel like he does everything himself, and that's, I mean, if it works, you know, why change it, kind of thing. Samuel, thank you for the 3, my friend. Joel is the goat. I am the goat. He got to the 2nd year in my college courses, but I didn't do well. Yeah, college can be really hard, you know, and depending on your circumstances, it's like sometimes you need like external support from like family and friends, and it can be really difficult sometimes depending on what you're majoring in. I almost, you know, looking back on nursing school, there was multiple times where I didn't think I was going to make it, or I wanted to drop out, and my parents like really inspired me to stick with it, and I'm thankful that I had them to kind of be on my ass, because it's pretty easy to just kind of give up on things sometimes, you know. I don't know. But I'm glad I stuck with it. You know, nursing definitely gave me the sort of like foundation that I needed to, like, financially, to kind of like try and do something on the side like this, and then this worked out, which is cool. Dude, I love this music. Platinum Saber with the 5 says, hey man, I love your videos. I was thinking about starting my own horror narration channel. What's all I would need, and any tips? Well, you know, you need a microphone. I use an H4n handy recorder. It's probably not the most advised. I wouldn't highly advise using that, to be honest, because It's just not really. I mean, it works for me, but I don't think it would work for everybody as far as like recording goes, or it's like, you know, definitely not like a voice recording device necessarily. It's more for like field recordings, but I think it kind of has that stereophonic feel, that or ASMR feel that people like. But yeah, once you got a microphone, you can, you know, some people use Audacity that's free to like record through that, you know. I edit you know, I bring my files, like they go right into the SD card that's inside my microphone that I import into Sony Vegas, where I edit the audio in Sony Vegas and then take that rendered wave file and remove the background noise in Audacity, and then I bring it back to Sony Vegas where I edit the videos and stuff. But Sony Vegas isn't the best either. It like crashes a lot, which kind of blows, so you have to like save. And sometimes when rendering it kind of fucks up. But yeah, I mean, if you ever have any questions, you're real serious about it, you know, and or as you go along in your journey of narration, you know, just shoot me a DM or something, or message on Discord, and I'm always happy to chat about that kind of stuff. RP Solar with the 2 says he's an original. I remember him from early 2016. Wait, who are we talking about? Are we still talking about Mr. Oh yeah, I mean, Mr. Nightmare is the OG of True Scary Stories. He was definitively the first guy to do it. A naughty nurse? Yes. I was the naughtiest of nurses. Can I say baka? What's baka? You need a Zoom recorder. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's up to you. Whatever your preference is, whatever gets you that sound that makes you feel like you're getting the job done. Number 6, man urinates on passenger for not being allowed to smoke. I keep seeing that everywhere, and I don't even know like who that guy is. I know it's probably like a countdown channel, but it's just so funny. Sexy nurse ooh. Looks like I've been bad. But yeah, today is subscriber stories, so if y'all have a story that you want to hear on here, as always, like these are just by subscriber stories. I mean, these are like just straight up from the subreddit primarily, rather than like email, but sometimes I'll use emailed stories as well. Put them onto the subreddit just for convenience. Baka means idiot. Oh, okay. Nice. Baka. Baka laka laka. But yeah, if you go to reddit.com/r/letsreadofficial, you can submit your story. Joel Chan. Hey, I'm a teacher setting online work for my kids, and I'm sat in my empty classroom. Thanks for making my day with this vids. Oh yeah, so like if the kids don't come in, I guess you still have to, or maybe you just come in just because it's more of like a work environment or something like that. I feel like that would be really awkward just to be in like an empty class. Hey Sam, what's up? No, it's okay. If you can't listen, don't worry. This video will be edited and released later tonight at 7 Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Or you can get it early access on Patreon, just $1 a month there, so that's always good. Can you bring out the prison stories? We can. I think I have some prison stories up on the channel. An old wooden ship. Just kidding. Rook X with the 5 says, holy shiatsu massage, let's read. You be on that early schedule. Can't stick around for the whole stream, but I appreciate it. Well, thank you, Rook. It's always good to see you.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, things are going good. Feels pretty good to be up early. I got the window, open to let the sun in. Sometimes I don't get to see that a whole lot when you're on that vampire sleep schedule. Blue Rooster with the 5 says, what's up, Dank Daddy? Thanks for the AM stream. You're welcome, Blue. It's good to see you. Long time no see, honestly. It's been a minute, yo. DD Cortez with the 5 years. You literally helped me through the days. Baba and Cha Cha, my kitty kids, also say hi. Aw. Give them some pit pats on the head for me. I appreciate them. Appreciate you. Thank you for the 5. And speaking of which, we have arrived at the beginning. And it's time to read, I suppose. Do. Going to switch over to our reading screen. Done by the amazing Robin Mikalsen. You're browsing Craigslist pets and want all the birds. Oh yes. Please do be careful with those Craigslist birds. They get a little wild. Alright. Time to set the spooky mood. Teachers in the UK still come in. And key worker kids are in, so I can see them in a different room, so we can't go near them. It's like torture not being able to talk to them. Yeah, I can imagine. I don't know. I have no words of wisdom on that shit. It's just a perpetual, endless cycle. Alright, so this one, I almost feel like I'm going to put it in the title, because the title of this one's I worked with a cop killer, but I feel like I can't put killer in the title, so I might even put like a star in the word killer, just to, I don't know, make it not, I don't know. I feel like having the word killer would like trigger something on YouTube, you know? Personal creepy hospital stories. Personal ones, not entirely, really. I mean, late at night, there really wasn't a whole lot of like weird stuff that would go on our floor. And honestly, I never really heard a whole lot of stuff. I know the one orderly would take people down to the morgue whenever they would pass away, but never even really heard anything weird from them. So honestly, not really. Though I guess like when I worked in a nursing home, the one woman who would work overnight, she said she would like see stuff, you know, like see certain like almost like demonic entities or something like in patients' rooms or whatever, like some sort of black cat or something in the like skittering around the fucking ceiling or whatever. I don't know. I never really knew what to. I mean, I trusted her, I guess, but it was just like I didn't really know how to take that per se. And I worked the second shift, so I never really saw anything. But yes, also this is a California. I gotta remember how to pronounce this. Aptos, California. Aptos. I think it's Aptos. Yeah, Aptos. Okay, cool. Make sure I get it right here. All right, let us kick it off, baby girl. Buckle in. This is a long one. I moved back to Santa Cruz at the end of 2012 after completing culinary school in Sacramento. I landed a job at a local bakery and coffee shop in a nearby town called Aptos. I was the morning baker, which meant that days started at 2:30 a.m. and finished around 10:30 a.m. I both loved and hated that kind of shift. Wait, what the fuck? It's like slightly snowing here, so like there's like some random dude with a snowblower on my fucking street. I guess it's nice he's clearing out the sidewalks, but it's just loud as fuck. God damn it. Oh shit. Okay, my bad. I both loved and hated that kind of shift. I loved being alone until the morning barista came in at 6 a.m. I could listen to music as loud as I wanted while getting the morning baking done. I didn't have anyone around to share the radio with and no one to breathe down my neck. It was actually really nice. Having to go to bed by 4 p.m. was the part that I hated. You miss a lot when you're on a shift like that, but I digress. The owner of the bakery also had a small coffee shop in the Santa Cruz harbor, so it wasn't abnormal for the baristas to work at the harbor one day and in Aptos the next. In January of 2013, the owner hired a new barista who worked at the bakery one day a week and the harbor the rest of his shifts. From what I can remember, okay. Don't shout at my neighbor. Yeah, they know where I live. It was like some, I don't know, I live near some apartment buildings too, so I think they were like contractors or something. But he's got like serious fucking equipment he's rolling around in for like half an inch of snow. Half an inch. In January of 2013, the owner hired a new barista who worked at the bakery one day a week and the harbor the rest of his shifts, from what I can remember. I know he wasn't at the bakery very often. I remember the first time I saw him. He was kind of cute, but there was something in his eyes that was creepy and unnerving. Thankfully, we didn't talk much. But the next month or so, work went on as usual. Toward the end of February, everything would change. Sorry, I feel like my voice cracked. Yeah, I'm on the East Coast. Toward the end of February, everything would change. On February 26, 2013, that really creepy, albeit sort of cute barista would kill 2 cops and then die in the line of fire half an hour later. We were all shocked. The owner was a mess. We didn't know what to do or think. And that's not the end of the story, however. Finding out what happened in this incident, as well as his past, was just as shocking and surreal as hearing that he had murdered 2 police officers. In the days following the shooting, a lot about him would come to light. This is really where the convoluted nature of the story comes into play, because so much had happened leading up to the shooting, but it all came out in bits and pieces. A few days before the shooting, Jeremy Goulet... A few days before the shooting, Jeremy Goulet, then 35 years old, had been hanging out with some work friends from the Kind Grind. While at his female co-worker's house, the group had been drinking. After everyone left for the evening, Goulet waited until the female co-worker had gone to sleep. He then broke into her house and attempted to assault her. She awoke and screamed, prompting Goulet to flee. A short time later, Goulet was picked up for public intoxication and spent the rest of the night in jail. Sergeant Lauren Baker and Detective Elizabeth Butler went to Goulet's residence on February 26th to ask him some questions regarding the police report filed by the female co-worker. The officer spoke with Goulet for a few minutes through his door before attempting to detain him. It's unclear exactly what happened next, but Goulet shot and killed both officers before taking Sergeant Baker's bulletproof vest and gun and fleeing in the unmarked police vehicle. Within minutes, he was surrounded by other officers in an alley behind his residence. A short gun battle ensued before Goulet was shot and killed. Within half an hour, 3 people were dead. But this isn't the end of the story either. There would be a lot more to learn about Goulet and what led him to that fateful day. Over the following week, the chips would fall and the following timeline of Jeremy Goulet would come to light. He joined the Marines in 1998. In 2000, he was cited in a Peeping Tom case while stationed in San Diego. He discharged from the Marines in 2002. In 2004, he enlisted in the Army as a Black Hawk pilot. In 2006, while stationed in Hawaii, he was court-martialed on successive charges of assault against women. The Army exchanged dropping the... Oh, I see. You came here to kill the boogeyman, John. I don't even know. I mean, I think having a bird would be cool. I don't know what bird though. Maybe like a cardinal. I wonder if you could even own birds like that. I mean, I guess you could just attract them to your backyard and say they're yours. The background keeps catching your turtle's attention. That's funny. Wait, A8T8T. Wait, what's really loud? Is it something loud on your end or something loud on my end? Ravens. Oh yeah, Raven would be cool. They're really smart, aren't they? Oh fuck, dude. I think you notice I'm at 700k. Thank you. Yeah, we just recently hit 700k subs. It's pretty wild, honestly. Thank you guys for sharing stuff out. Oh, the woo sounds. Oh fuck yeah, that's the guy out there, fucking doing shoveling and shit. And he's gone. I guess he's gone now. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, the badass factor when you roll up with your raven. What's up? Got a raven. It can see into the future. Elizabeth Harrington with the 5 says, I'm going to surgery, but, well, I'm going into surgery. I'm relaxed listening to your life live. Thanks for relaxing me. You're welcome, Elizabeth. Thank you. I hope the best for your surgery. Let us know how it goes. A murder of crows, yeah. Yeah, I think it's gone right now. Yeah, sorry about that. I had like my headphones on. I didn't quite pick up on it, but I took them off and I can hear them, and it's like just going up and down the fucking sidewalk to clear out snow. It's not even like there's that much though, but I guess they contract them out to do it every time, so they're like, might as well do it. I hope that doesn't get picked up on the actual microphone, but it probably will. Don't crows hold grudges? Maybe. They'll come for your eyeballs. The Army exchanged dropping the charges for an other than honorable discharge, which is nonsense to me. He was officially discharged from the Army in February 2007. He moved to Portland in March of 2007. And in late 2007, he was found peeping in a woman's apartment window and filming her. After being confronted 3 times by the woman's boyfriend, the man got into a physical fight, and Goulet brandished a concealed weapon that he fired multiple times at the boyfriend. The boyfriend was not injured. Goulet was charged with invasion of privacy, concealed weapons charges, and attempted murder. He served 3 years and was released in April 2010. Goulet moved to Berkeley in September 2011, where he was again arrested on charges of peeping. This time, Goulet took a plea deal for 20 days in jail and 3 years of probation. At the end of 2012, Goulet moved to Santa Cruz and began working at the Kind Grind, where the rest of the circle comes around to a close. To say we were all shocked and awed by... Oops. Elizabeth Juan with the 5 says, at work, super bored and watching my relationship fall apart right before my eyes, but your videos and your voice keep me going. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. I hope the best about that. That shit can be really hard, but thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you being here. I've learned a few things from... Oh, wait, okay. Oh, I see. At the end of 2012, Goulet moved to Santa Cruz and began working at the Kind Grind, where the rest of the circle comes around to a close. To say we were all shocked and awed by how this all unraveled is an understatement. The bakery and coffee shop are both now permanently closed, but I don't know if that has anything to do with this story. The owner was always a little off her rocker to begin with. I've learned a few things from all this. The first thing is to be careful of who you have to spend a few hours alone with in the early and dark mornings because you never truly know what someone is capable of. The second thing is to absolutely never take someone for fate. The second thing is to absolutely never take someone's face value for granted. And finally, never be upset for not being someone's type. It might just have saved me from being assaulted and sparking murderous intent. How do you join the Discord? Oh yeah, somebody can link you there. The Fur Whisperer. The Whisperer to Furries. That is fucking wild though. Alright, so we're on story 2. Stalked within a week of New Year's, a lovely start to 2021. And if you recognize your story, if I'm ever doing a live stream and you recognize the story, definitely give me a shout out, because I appreciate you sending it in. The sound at the end of my stories always gets you. Wow, wow. All right. Oh, Nicole, I was reading your story. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Perfect timing then. Yeah, that shit's crazy. The Goulet guy. Holy fuck. All right. This is a good start on this one. Let me start off by saying I'm not attractive. I'm not saying that for clout or simply to put myself down. It's just a fact of my life that I'm not all that appealing to look at. Shit. It's just a fact of my life that I'm not all that appealing to look at. I'm okay with it, and it's not really a big deal. I was born female and happen to have a curvy body, so I sometimes get catcalled before people see my face. It's not often, so I never put myself down as someone to be targeted for harassment, assault, stalking, and so on. And I'm telling this story to remind all of you to be on your guard. Not only the pretty people get targeted, everyone needs to be wary of their surroundings. This morning, I was on my usual bus route to work, on schedule to arrive 45 minutes early. The joys of a small-town bus system. I just got off my second bus when I noticed someone walking behind me. I keep my mask on from when I leave the house to when I get home because, spoiler alert, we're still in a pandemic. I noticed the shadow of someone wearing a hood walking up behind me. They got very close to me, so thinking they were trying to pass me, I slowed down and stepped to the side. They also slowed down and turned to look at the road, like they were looking to cross. I kept walking down the road, but pulled out my earbuds and hid them in my pocket. Now, I don't work in that great of a neighborhood. I work for a good company, it just happens to be in a shady area of my town. When I saw the guy pause, all my alarms went on alert, so I tried to listen for him and hide my phone and earbuds, thinking he might try and make a grab for them. I often assume the worst as a gut reaction. I ducked into a small driveway surrounded by a fence as a way to gauge if he was still following me or trying to pass me. He walked into the driveway after me and stopped near me, then turned his head down the road as though he was directed by the trap. Oops, not directed. Poo Life with the 5 says, "Sup, Joel, how's it going?" It's going good, yeah. Just living that poo life in the morning. I guess the snow is kind of coming down, but it's almost like a flurry, where it's not really like heavy, thick snow. It's not really sticking. Easily brushed away by the wind. Oh yeah, click that like button if you would be so kind. Louis, catfish my ass. You want somebody to catfish your ass? That sounds kind of scary. He then walked into the driveway after me and stopped near me, then turned his head down the road as though he was distracted by the traffic. Needless to say, it spooked me to see he actually was following me. I said, "You can pass me at any time," to try and urge him to go away. I quickly went back to walking down the road, speed walking to just try and get away. I was close to my work, which has a keypad locked door, so I thought if I could walk quickly enough, I could be safe. I felt like if I tried to run, he'd catch up to me and try something. I made it to my work's driveway and was happy to see he was a distance away. I made my way to the front door, punching in the door key, and looked over my shoulder. I saw him running at me. I tried to get the door open and go inside, but he stood right in front of me before I could get inside. I slammed the door closed, for some reason thinking that he'd try to push it his way. I slammed the door closed, for some reason thinking that he'd try to push his way in. I didn't want him to hurt my coworkers as well. Trying to force myself to give him the benefit of the doubt is like such a tongue twister for some reason. Do I do YouTube full-time? I do, yeah. This is my full-time job now. Trying to force myself to give him the benefit of the doubt. Initially trying to rationalize that he might be a new employee, I asked if I could help him. The stalker was staring dead into my eyes, standing about 5 or 6 inches away from me. He was wearing a mask, but it was so tattered that I could see his mouth and nose clearly. I was just wondering if I could get your name. I'm not that much of an idiot. I wasn't about to give this guy any information about myself. I hesitated, then mumbled that I wasn't available. I just wanted to know your name, is how he responded. I'd like you to back up. That's what I said next. I was too spooked to think of much else other than that he was... I was too spooked to think of much else other than he was standing way too close. He didn't budge, so I repeated myself, but he didn't seem fazed. Finally, I said with force, "You need to back off." He finally complied, backing away slowly. I yelled at him that it's not nice to stalk people. When he was about 20 feet away, I turned my back on him, punched in the key code, and flew into my work building. Everyone was staring at me because of how frazzled I looked and how fast I ran in the building and slammed the door. I managed to talk to my coworkers, and a friend let me borrow her pepper spray in case he decided to follow me again. My boss said that he'd look into what he can find on the security cameras in case we need to file a police report. So to the odd guy who chased and stalked me, I'm not giving him my full name, and I hope that we don't meet again. Wait, there's updates here. I didn't mention that I'd seen this man before. He didn't follow me on the bus, but reached across the aisle to grab onto my hair several weeks ago, leaving a snot trail on the hood of my jacket. Jesus Christ. Yikes. That's what you say, bruh. I got a wiener bigger than yours. See, that would be a good way to deter a stalker, I think. What's the best way to get a story to Let's Read? Yeah, just, you can email it. Well, best way, honestly, I would say is go to reddit.com/r/letsreadofficial. Submit a story on there if you got a Reddit account. It's pretty easy. You don't need to verify your credentials when you make an account, so nice and quick. A lot of people make anonymous accounts in case you wanted to remain anonymous. And then you could also submit it to my email, letsreadsubmissions@gmail.com. And yeah, those are the dim best ways. Thanks, Pooh Life. Good seeing you. Sounds like a kid from Harold, yeah. Hi, how are you? I need to grab some food real quick. Let me just put on my "be right back" thing. Sorry. I guess that was just a quick be right back. Probably not necessary. But I don't know why. I was getting like really lightheaded. But I kind of like legitimately slept all day yesterday. And then like, I don't know, it was weird. I like woke up in the morning, but then fell asleep like midday again. And then like slept till late. I just kept sleeping. And then like eventually last night I took took ZQL again, you know, and then just passed out again till this morning. So it was like an entire day of just sleeping but not eating anything. But yeah, I'm eating what the fuck am I eating? It's called a Think bar. It's like a keto protein bar, but it actually tastes fucking good as shit. It's like, if you've ever had Fast Break, it's kind of like a Fast Break, but it has like, it's like crunchy on the inside, and it tastes legitimately just like a Reese's type thing. Your food. Oh god, we can all share this bar. Just start on different ends. I'm not run down. I don't think I'm run down. I just like, I don't know why. This week I've just been feeling kind of weird. Just wanting to sleep a lot. And, I don't know. I mean, I'm doing good. You know what I mean? Life is good. Just kind of like winter. I think it's just winter, you know? Just kind of want to go into fucking hibernation mode. Reese's peanut butter cups with Reese's Pieces. Oh yeah, those are good as fuck. Yeah, the freezable Think bars are really good. I think these are it, but I'm not sure. Who did I get pregnant? Thankfully, nobody. I mean, if I had a kid right now, it wouldn't be the worst scenario, I guess. I feel like I'm pretty prepared mentally, but I'd probably avoid ever doing that until it's something that legitimately is planned. But it's not like I'm really in a scenario to plan that anyway, so it's whatever. It's become a mukbang session, yeah. Mukbang, one candy bar. Ever read a horror story of my own experience? No, I really haven't had that many, you know, knock on wood. Hey Brittany, what's up? And Rachel, what's going on? Make a great dad. Yeah, I'm like, am I single? I am single, yeah. I mean, it would be cool. And I'm thankful that, like, you know, sometimes I feel like bad for girls because I feel like they kind of have to rush into relationships a little bit faster than guys do. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to, but you know, and I feel like there's like this weird sort of pressure on them to like, and it's not, but I just notice sometimes some might feel as if though there is, even though I don't think that there is, but to like, you know, pump out kids or whatever the fuck. But, you know, I'm really in no hurry towards anything, you know. Can I remember a story that scared you most of all? I don't know if I can. Ready to mingle. I seem level-headed. I am, you know, I mean, like, Hannah's be rejecting left and right. Yeah. Low-key bragging. Lucky you, Hannah. All of us losers. Fave place to eat taco, super taco. Oh, nice. Hell yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, the window does feel kind of like it closes in. The only bad thing is I hope that someone doesn't really like feel that sort of internal pressure and feel as if though they need to like settle for someone shitty because there's nothing else around or whatever, you know what I mean? And then they have a kid with someone who's, I don't know, abusive or crazy or some shit, you know? Marriage is a hoax in America. It's all one big lie. Marriage is kind of weird, you know? When you look at humans and shit, it's just like, it's just this contractual business obligation, you know what I mean? But obviously you would hope that people would love each other and then stick with each other and stuff, but I can also understand why people start to like sort of drift apart over time as well, you know? Can I do more Stuck in the Matrix story? Yeah, those were good. You guys need to start having some more weird experiences. I'm prego with Pradeep. I pooped him out earlier. Does my voice hurt when you talk or scream? Not really. I remember like years ago I used to get like, when I would read for a long time, my voice would be kind of sore. I don't really scream or anything like that, so I don't think. You have a kid with a piece of shit crazy, yeah. No, I mean, obviously you love your child, but yeah, sometimes it's just like, you know, people find themselves in scenarios that are not ideal, but it is what it is. Do I stand for the whole stream? Yeah, I mean, I have a stand-up desk, and I just stand. But I don't know. I've gotten used to it because, like, when I'm not streaming or I'm on my computer, I'm standing as well, anyways. So I guess I don't even think about it. Like, I'm just kind of like propped in place here, and it's kind of nice because, like, if I get tight, I can, like, you know, move my legs around and stretch. And because I, like, I've said this before, but because I like lift weights and shit like that, like my hips and hamstrings and all that kind of shit is, you know, they get tight, you know what I mean? So like sitting in a chair makes it like really, really bad, like to the point where you like get up and you're like feel like an old man. But I feel like when I have a stand-up desk, I don't really feel that anymore, you know. But I've heard people say that like sitting in a chair for long periods of time is pretty much just as bad as obesity, or, you know what I mean, like eating unhealthy, just because of like muscle tightness and fucking blood flow or whatever. Teresa with the 2 says, listening at work, thank God I drive all day. Oh yeah. Am I jacked? I mean, I'm not like jacked. I'm strong, you know, but I don't really focus too much on like bodybuilding stuff. I just more like the functional things and just doing you know, doing functional stuff, but also like focusing on just getting stronger at whatever particular lift I'm doing. Early morning streaming, baby. I will talk about you during my speech today. Thank you, Mr. Biden. That'd be funny. Joe Biden just puts on like the Let's Read live stream over the intercom. My fellow Americans, I need a massage. Oh yeah. Anyways, I'm making your mind go into the gutter describing yourself with that voice. Good. Oh yeah, I'm only jacked for OnlyFans, where I do some Photoshop touch-ups. Open your mind to a lot. Thank you. Oh yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Pradeep is my spotter. Yeah, as I do my ass to grass squats, Pradeep's just standing there behind me. I honestly wouldn't be surprised, like if I were to ever build like a home gym or some shit, and you're doing like a 400 squat or something, and Pradeep just comes up and starts rubbing against your leg as you're like struggling to fucking balance. Lils with the 2. Hey Lils. How many stories have we this? So this is story 3. This is kind of like a wall of text, but it's not that long, so I think we should be good. It's called I Almost Got Kidnapped. Maybe it's kidnapped. Joel has that cornbread fed strength. Yeah. Cornbread. Mm-hmm. Country boy. It is kind of weird though, like I feel like most of my strength that I made was when I was fucking like 17. Because I remember that was the first time that I had squatted 405. And I guess I didn't really like stick to like lifting as much throughout college. I was more into like trail running and stuff, but it doesn't really leave you. You know what I mean? That strength when you get back to it later, like it's easy. Once you make strength gains, it's easy to get them back like later. Joe Biden. But yeah, like now as like, you know, you get older, it's like the strength gains don't come quite as fast. But I guess it has more to do with the fact that like back then we would do the same lifts like 3 days a week, so it was more like the frequency of like squatting, benching. I think it was like we did squatting, benching, and power clean like 3 days a week from like our lifting schedule and shit. All right. Anyways, yeah, never miss leg day or brain day. All right, let's do this story real quick. For some background, I'm a 13-year-old female. I'm a very athletic and aware. I'm a very athletic. That's funny. Someone commented like whenever I said I was making a TikTok, they were like, "I didn't know you were a 13-year-old girl," and I was thinking about commenting back like, well, I read so many stories where, you know, I put myself in the position of a 13-year-old girl that I'm starting to just become one, and hence why I made a TikTok. But I didn't say that because I feel like I haven't like read, you know, the whole like I'm a 14-year-old girl like statement at the beginning of stuff. So it's just funny that this story has that now. I'm very athletic and aware of my surroundings, and I think that's what saved me yesterday. About 3 months ago, I was out skateboarding like I do every weekend, and I was just going around my neighborhood. My neighborhood is a long street with many courts on each side. 3 of the streets, however, you can drive through. I was going in and out of each court, and I noticed a black car following me and going in and out of each court behind me. I went to one of the courts that looped around and went out the other end, then onto the main road and back into my neighborhood where I was able to escape the car and get home. Fast forward to yesterday, and I was out skating to go get candy from a store near my house and then go hang out in a mossy parking lot that was... A mossy parking lot? Could a parking lot be mossy? I'm not really sure. 13-year-old girl, you'd be out hunting squirrels in the mountains, not here on the internet. Is that what 13-year-old girls do, hunt squirrels? That'd be funny. What if you guys found out I was actually 13? Hey guys, I'm 13. I did see a video earlier of like, you know, it's like little kid football or what Pop Warner football where they're like 6 years old, and this one the caption was like Kevin Hart out here living his best life, because one of the kids was like 5'3" at 6 years old, so he was like giant compared to the rest of them. And it'd be funny. Kevin Hart's out there playing with kids. Anthony with the 5 says, about to head to work. Thanks for being live so I can listen to your sweet, sweet voice, young man. Thank you, Anthony. Hope you're doing well, my dude. Appreciate it as always. Corpse husband, like this guy's voice sounds like I was... What? You know what's really funny? I don't know if you guys watch this animated... Sometimes I share it on Twitter, or like I put it on the meme page, or not the meme page, but the meme section of the Discord. And what's it called? Meat Canyon. I don't know if you have seen Meat Canyon. It's like an animated YouTube channel where it's just like It does everything from like Bugs Bunny to McDonald's, you know, just all these really wacky, weird skits and stuff, but animated. Really good channel. And it was just funny. This one was called Kitty, and it was about like the little girl from Monsters Inc. is now grown up, but she has like an OnlyFans, and fucking you know, Solly and the green guy or whatever their name is, like they're like creepy as fuck, and they're like her number one donors or whatever, and get phone calls with her, but he's like in her closet, you know. And it was so funny because it's like showing her room where she's like she's like, are you in my closet? And then it like kind of like zoomed out to like a, you know, a master shot of the room, and on the fucking wall like was a poster of Corp's husband. And I don't know, I just thought that was so funny. I'm like, wow, like Corpse is like literally blown up so much that he's like getting referenced in like a Meat Canyon fucking video as like a poster on a wall. It's just like so funny. Anthony Esposito with a $10 arena says, P.S. I have Alyssa listen to you chills as well. Being that I can mimic voices, I do it all the time to her, even at 3 a.m. when she wakes up from sleep to go potty. Number 11. This is my 11th piss of the night. Thank you, Anthony. That's hilarious. I could see a significant other getting... Hopefully she has a good sense of humor about... I'm sure she does, but I could see some people getting really fucking annoyed with the chills voice. His corpse is spinning in his tomb. It's just funny. It's like, holy shit, man, he's everywhere now. Oh, pets. Yeah, I got Pradeep. I got one cat. He is the man. He's chilling behind me right now. It's so weird. Like, cats just sleep. That's all they do. Sleep. Non-stop sleepies. Or zoomies. Karina with the 6 Australians is E. E, baby. Thank you, Karina. I don't know if there was more to that message or not. And Anthony with a 5 says, oh no, she's freaked out and mad. Okay, going to draft. That's all it took. Thank you, thank you. Fast forward to yesterday, and I was out skating to go get candy from a store near to my house and then go hang out in a mossy parking lot that was in an alley. I go out every weekend and get boba next to this alley and then come sit in this parking lot to drink and read. This time I just went into the store, got a drink, candy, and then skated over to the secluded parking lot, popping my board up once I hit the gravel road. You can go through the alley to the boba place, and a lot of cars do that, so it's not unusual to see one or two pass by the small parking lot every once in a while. One of the things that may have saved me is my grandma. Since I was a child, she taught me to be overly aware of my surroundings and be smart about what I do. I sat down first with my back open and then decided to move to where I was sitting with my back to a fence so no one could come up behind me. As I was reading, I saw a car pass by and looked up. I have this man's face stuck in my head as it's truly petrifying. I saw a man in the same car that followed me 3 months ago, except this time he had his window down and I saw his face. He was at least 350 pounds and had short black hair and a black beard. He had brown, beady eyes that stared at me as he passed by way slower than a normal car would have. I didn't pick up on the fact that this was the car that followed me 3 months ago at first, so I just thought he wanted to see what I was doing, as I am a teenager in a random secluded parking lot with 2 bags by me. I put what happened in the back of my mind and kept reading. A few minutes later, I heard a car coming up and looked up. To my horror, it was the same exact car. He went by this whole time in his black van, slower than he had done this first time. It's a black van now? I thought it was a black... Well, maybe a car as in vehicle or something. Does anyone know if Jesus Christ has abs? I think so. I don't think he ate a whole lot of food. Sup, Toonami? I'm on them pro hormones. I'm a 13-year-old girl. Cats just steady microdosing, yeah. It does kind of make you wonder, like, what's going through their body that just makes them constantly just like, okay, I sleep now. Okay, I sleep now again. Am I devout? Darwinian atheist. Lady Gaga is gonna be there. Nice, dude. He went by this time in his black van, slower than he did the first time. He stared at me the whole time, and I saw someone move in the passenger side. They seemed to be hiding. They were hiding on the floor, and I saw their head pop up as they drove by. Who knows how many people were in that car? And after what seemed like hours, he drove away. As soon as he did, I got out of my trance, packing everything up and booking it out of there. I went through a very small alley between the pet shop and the rehabilitation center I was behind, which led to the main road. I threw my board down and went as fast as I could home. I saw his car go out onto the main road and then turn into a school parking lot. He was either going to turn around following me, or he was going to go through the alley once more, hoping I was still there. Luckily, he went to the alley again, leaving me time to get away, and I made it home safe. I'm scared because I worry that this will happen again, and maybe next time I won't see them coming. Just please stop slurping whatever you drink now. I can't help it, dude. I gotta slurp. I'm a slurpy boy. People simp for God. I'm a simp for Christ. Oh, Daphne, yeah, welcome. Yeah, I guess virtual school is nice. You can just throw some shit on while you're doing stuff at home. Stalin rising from his grave. When's the Let's Read Twerk team meeting? Well, we really need to work on our routine here soon, so I don't know when you guys are next available, but the twerk team needs to really put in some serious work for the rest of this week. Slurp, slurp, slurp. Gonna read a story in a super deep voice. So this happened in 2011, Tacoma, Washington. I was 27 at the time and just coming out of a really trash marriage, meaning I was getting back into the dating world after years away. Bum, 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 bum. Somebody wake up Joe Biden and tell him he's president now. He's like, what's going on? Do I watch The Challenge on MTV? No, I've never seen it. I honestly haven't watched MTV in freaking years, dude. I remember, like, I don't know if you guys remember this. There was, like, a time in which, like, television just took a really, really bad downturn where it all was, like, reality TV show shit, which, like, some of it can be, like, pretty good, right? But a lot of it, I don't know. I think everyone nowadays is kind of used to just seeing reality TV, like, as normal television. But in the past, like, it started out with, like, what, like, West Coast Choppers, like, random bullshit, you know, like, where Discovery Channel used to be all, you know, pretty much, like, nature documentaries all the fucking time, which was sweet, you know. I mean, it was boring, sure, and I'm sure it wasn't good for ratings, but it was just nice to, like, know that if you actually wanted to, like, watch a show that was, like, interesting and educational, you could go on there. But then it was, like, West Coast Choppers, and it just kind of evolved from there to Pawn Stars and dog shit like that. I'm not saying those are bad shows. It got old. But anyways, yeah, I remember, like, MTV went down that route as well, where all they did was, like, reality TV nonsense, and it just gets old. The Evil Plague Doctor with the 5. Here's to the end of the world. Thank you, Evil Plague Doctor. The end is nigh. Repenteth of thine sin. The Discovery Channel, The Haunting Show, is really good for having such an obvious low production value. I've never seen that. I wonder what that's about. I started the stream 69 minutes ago. Nice. Do people pressure you to do a face reveal? Guess I am. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind if you ask, you know what I mean? Like, I won't do it, but... You stop TV when they shut up. Yeah, I mean, there's so much other better shit to watch than reality stuff. Even though, I mean, some of it's pretty... I guess at this point, it's like, what do you define as reality TV show? But from what I've heard, like, Pawn Stars is all scripted anyways, you know? So it's just like, I don't know. What TV series do I think is overrated? I feel like pretty much every show I've ever watched that people get really stoked about, I'm just like, this is kind of stupid. I'm sure I can think of something. What do you guys think? Humble Ruby, what's up? Is it Tacoma, Washington? Yeah. Am I into any sports? I mean, I watch a lot of NFL stuff, like just highlights. Just because, I don't know, I just find it kind of like mindlessly fun. And some of the guys there, like Aaron Donald is just like a freak. So is Derrick Henry, running back for Tennessee. There's just different people I like watching. I remember I was pretty sad when Saquon Barkley got injured just because he was just such a freak athlete, like strong, quick, agile, fast, just insane athlete. I hope that his career isn't like done. I mean, it might as well be done with the time that he joined the fucking Giants, but I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, I like watching the NFL. I like watching strongman stuff. You know, I think it's I just like these peak athletes, you know, big strong men with muscle. But yeah, the Evil Plague Doctor has become a full-grown pizza and a member of the Buttersock cult. Welcome, Plague Doctor. And Anthony with 5 says MTV used to have Spider-Man on. I never watched that, like the Spider-Man cartoon or Spider-Man. I don't think I've ever seen that. OxyClean with the 2 says, thanks for keeping me entertained while at work. You're welcome, OxyClean. Thanks for keeping me clean while I cream in my pants. Joel Chad. All kinds of gains. All kinds of gains. I actually know that reference, which is funny. With the 10 says, thanks for your stories. I love them, and I always sit and practice my guitar chords while listening each day. Also, just wondering, do you believe in ghosts and paranormal? Thank you for the 10. You know, I do. I can't say I know what the hell any of it is, but I feel like so many people, I've read so many stories of people's experiences with the paranormal, and just like, you can tell when a story's bullshit and when a story's like legit, and it seems as if though like paranormal stories sort of like take a certain tone, like they're not always like, they don't always have like an overarching like beginning and end to them, but like they just tell the details, and that to me usually indicates like a certain degree of authenticity to what they're talking about. Can paranormal, experiences be a manifestation of other things like mental illness and stuff? For sure. But I feel like it's so prevalent, and it's been in so many cultures, and you've heard so many anecdotal experiences throughout time that there's got to be something weird going on, you know what I mean? Like, I've always been curious, like, what it would be like to be part of, like, a exorcist team or some shit, you know what I mean? Like, if you just, like, tagged along with, like, the people that specialize in that shit in, the Vatican. I think that would, or, it doesn't have to be them, but wherever. Like, I just think that would be really either interesting or, like, the worst decision ever. Anthony with the 5 says, cartoon. I'm at Taco Bell now. Oh, shit. Prepare your butthole. And thank you for the 5. I should go ghost hunting. That'd be fun. And create an energy drink called Joel Juice. I'd buy it. What should I put in it, though? Like, I don't want it to be, like, just, caffeine and stuff. I feel like I want it to be like something fucking yummy. The paranormal ones are scarier than true crime on my like the true crime are definitely very scary. It's just like the paranormal stuff for some reason just like it makes me feel like more vulnerable, I guess, you know, because I'm not an actual 13-year-old girl, so like you know, like I feel like the paranormal stuff for me personally just is spookier, but I don't read those quite as much because they're not quite as popular as the other stuff. You would nope right out of there. Didi Cortez with the 5 says, what's the best way to have you narrate my spooky Stanley Hotel experience? I mean, yeah, so sometimes, you know, when choosing them, like, you know, getting them upvoted on the Reddit, like, I don't want, like, to tell people that and then they're, like, motivated to sort of, you know, spam the system with upvotes and stuff, because I want, like, good content to make it to the top, but yeah, usually I'm, like, looking for, like, what's most upvoted on, you know, the top week or top month or whatever, most of the time, and then obviously over email, like, just ones that kind of catch my eye with, like, the title and, like, making sure that the grammar and syntax and all that kind of stuff looks good, just making it as easy enough for me as possible. Joel makes it on top nuke top 5's ghost videos. Did you see it? Wait, did I do that? Or, because honestly I don't remember being on his channel, but I wouldn't be surprised if I forgot. Lord, could you T-pose? Yes, my child. Alright. So this happened in 2011 in Tacoma, Washington. I was 7 at the time and just coming out of a really trash marriage, meaning I was getting back into the dating world after years away. I met this guy, we'll call him Y, on a now popular website for meeting others. Whatever. That matters... fuck. Blah, blah, blah. That matters very little in the scheme of what I'm about to tell you. We matched on the site and exchanged numbers and began texting throughout the day. Y was educated, funny, and devilishly handsome. Naturally, I wanted to meet him. He told me the feeling was mutual, so we agreed to meet at the local mall for coffee. The flirtatious conversation was flowing, smiles and giggles abound, and before I knew it, I realized my time with him was up. I had to pick up my son by a certain time, and I was risking being late. No big deal, Y said. But how about we hang out again tomorrow? He asked. Yeah, sure, I'd love that. I told him as he walked me to my car. I was excited, not gonna lie. Do you know where the beach is, in DuPont? We could walk around there, he said as he grinned at me. I told him to text me that I really had to get going to get my son, and he apologized for keeping me. The whole drive home I couldn't shake this weird feeling. DuPont Beach? It wasn't exactly a stroll on the beach type beach, it was rocky and studded with driftwood. There was a small road leading down to the beach, but it seemed like a real ankle breaker to actually walk on the rocks. Y texted me almost as soon as I got home, and told me how much he was looking forward to our beach date tomorrow. I responded because I didn't want to be rude, but in my mind I was freaking out. Something was not okay about this, but I couldn't put my finger on it. It wasn't that Y was a creep or even gave off any inklings of being a creep. For all intents and purposes, he seemed like a decent, friendly guy. When that nagging feeling just wouldn't go away, I made the snap choice to block him. No warning. No, it's just not working for me text. Just done and done. Instantly I felt relief knowing that because I lived on the south side of the town and Y lived on the north, we most likely wouldn't be running into each other. I settled back into my normal life and routine and opted out of dating for a while. Fast forward about 6 months, and one of my friends calls me and is all but screaming when I picked up the phone. You need to turn on the news now. What? What's going on? I said as I fumbled for the remote. It's the guy you went out on a... Fuck. Who should your first pardon be as president? Hopefully, what the fuck's his name? Tiger Joe, Exotic Joe. That'd be funny if Joe Biden only pardons people with the name Joe. Just coincidentally. Courtney with the 5 Canadian says, if you like psychology and gory TV, Netflix shows Hannibal is unreal. Nice, yeah, that actually, Hannibal does look like a really cool show, and I've always really kind of liked shows with bad guys that are like really cunning, you know, like the anti-hero type and stuff. So I actually think I will probably watch that at some point. It looks fucking cool, and the actor that plays in it, I've always just like, I don't know, I just always thought he was really cool. The Evil Plague Doctor 2 says, Joe Mama. My first pardon will be Joe Mama. It's the guy you went out with once. Why? Oh. It's the guy you went out with once. Why? I flicked on the news and sat in awe, and Y's picture flashed across the screen, and a description of his crimes were aired. Kidnapping, indecent assault. He was being held with $500,000 bond. Apparently Y had met a woman outside of a local DuPont restaurant at around 1 a.m., where she asked him if he had a cigarette lighter. He told her no. Sorry, I feel like I'm fucking this up. Julian Assange. The thing with Julian Assange is I'm pretty sure he's in like custody of does Snowden even need pardoning though? I don't believe Snowden is actually in a predicament currently. Maybe I'm wrong, because he does a lot of tweeting. But yeah, Julian Assange is, I think, being held in the UK, pretty much in solitary confinement for quite a while. And I don't really think a president here has any like jurisdiction over that currently, even though I think if he were to be extradited, he would be charged on some stuff or something. I don't really know. Who knows what the fuck's going on in the wonderful world of espionage. Bo Jiden. Apparently Y had met a woman outside of a local DuPont restaurant around 1 a.m., where she asked him if he had a cigarette lighter. He told her no, but that he had one in his car that was parked around the corner. She followed him to the car, and when he opened the back door to get the supposed lighter, he proceeded to push her in and slam the door, and leapt in the front seat himself. The woman was trapped due to the child locks being pre-locked in the car. He proceeded to drive her to the beach and assault her, and then leave her there. My blood ran cold at the thought of how Y had wanted him and I to go to that same area, and how I couldn't get rid of the feeling of impending doom surrounding it. Thank God I listened to my instincts. You know what's so weird is, like, I feel like, I remember reading this, like, book, you know, about different, like, this, you know, evolutionary psychology, you know, for different people, and I almost feel like it's, like, built in, like, some sort of, like, strange intuition is just naturally built into women to sort of, like, have that gut feeling, you know what I mean? Because it always seems to be pretty prevalent in these stories, and I read about it, you know, prior, and it's weird because it's like you wonder to yourself when you hear about something like intuition or knowing, just like a gut feeling and something, it kind of like, you know, it could be physical, but you also kind of wonder if there's some sort of like extra dimensional aspect as well, you know what I mean, to it. But at the same time, you also wonder if like there's some sort of physical dimension primarily to it as well, where almost as if though, like, you know, without even seeing, like, a guy gives off a certain, like, threatening pheromone. I know that sounds really weird, but I mean, couldn't you see that being some sort of weird, because there's all these weird explanations for scientific shit, but like, yeah, like the sixth sense, like, could be something sort of defined by the physical, but I'm not really sure. Because, like, but then I just, like, created some correlation in my mind in the past where I'm, like, kind of wondering, like, you know how, like, women, you know, were used as, like, oracles? Or, like, you've heard of oracles where, like, girls are able to see the future or, like, have some sort of extra dimensional sense of things. I don't know. And it just makes me wonder if, like, you know, you hear about, like, girls being sort of more sensitive to the spiritual world or whatever, or being some type of quote-unquote empath or, you know, whatever. I don't know, it just makes you wonder if, like, women are just naturally more inclined towards spiritual leanings in some fashion, or I don't know. The answer is socialization. That's it. What do you mean by that, Nikki? Because I'm open-minded to hearing anything. I just find it interesting. You're going to do some major destructive shopping today. Hell yeah. Billy Mays here. Hey, Billy. Nikki's in physical pain listening to me speak. The UK is holding Assange on a US warrant until extradition can be decided, since the UK decided not to extradite. Assange is being held hostage for being a journalist. I know, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, that's the highest honor of a journalist, right? Is getting killed or something worse. Yeah, like there's something physically built into, you know, because you think about the brain is just sort of like a receptor for, you know, frequencies and, you know, or at least it has been described as sort of being like a organic Wi-Fi receptor to a degree. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but you could also see if there's like some sort of like physical definition of what the spiritual realm is. Perhaps there's something within the mind of a girl that would, you know, be more prone to receiving those frequencies. The evil plague doctor with the 3 says, no reason, just take my money, sir. Thank you, plague doctor. You brought me over to the other screen there. It's like my eyes, I feel like, are getting worse, but I can see it. Nikki has said, the way we are socialized by gender, dudes don't get taught how to be emotionally intelligent and often don't have to use that gut feeling as often. They don't know what it is. Oh, okay. So it's like more of something that you've been trained to be observant towards, I guess, you know, like more of a nurture thing. I get that would make sense, you know what I mean? Like just being but I feel like that sort of natural socialization, I mean, it makes sense to sort of have that internally because, you know, because girls could be vulnerable, you know, they find themselves in a position where they have to be better at that to observe their surroundings, so that makes sense. But I can understand, like, you know, if you're, you know, within a particular environment, like people kind of teach you to be more observant of your surroundings and more aware of non-verbal cues and things of that nature. It makes sense. Dudes tend to ignore stuffs that women don't. Yeah, that makes sense. Like whenever, like if someone farts, you know, it's like very offensive. Hell of Niflheim with the 5 says, I had a job interview this morning and I got the job and started on Monday. Nice, congratulations. Hell, I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, if you don't lift, you got to make up for it in socialization. Conceal and carry, girls. My grandmother taught me how to shoot. Hey, that helps too. You don't need to pick up on as many cues when you can just fill in the blanks with your pistol. Just kidding. Darwinian atheist says it's not socialization, it makes evolutionary sense. In human history, women were always cared about and protected and men were always disposable. Well, I mean, I could understand, like, because I've always been curious about, like, how certain traits are passed on between, like, people, and I don't have an explanation for it. Like how on a DNA basis why your DNA, why your genetics would make you more perceptible to threats. You know what I mean? But if you can imagine, if your ancestors were like your genetic makeup, just like over years and years of development, leads you towards a predisposition genetically to be more aware of your surroundings and the nonverbal cues of a potential threat. Maybe a new person enters your tribe and you have to be more aware of them because they could potentially be something dangerous or from another warring tribe. You know what I mean? Those are all just like theories, and but I could see them being true. I mean, a lot of people sort of agree that mankind has progressed to a degree from some interesting start. I don't really know what that is. I mean, that's like the age-old question, but I could see that those sort of like socialization skills are also not only just cultural, and taught to you by your mother or something like that, but also built into your genetics as well. The White House is a nice retirement home. What? Alright, you have a taser and a pointy thing. It's supposed to be for animal attacks. Well, yeah, I mean, it would make sense, like, within the sort of evolutionary aspect, men are disposable because men can make many children, women can make one child at a time. It makes sense. Sometimes I get depressed sort of, like, thinking about humanity within the, like, non-poetic sense, you know what I mean? Like, where, our entire, like, algorithmic like direction, our physical imperatives of life are just solely based on reproduction and extending the hive onward into the future or whatever, because I feel like kind of like coming to terms with that sometimes is like there's not a lot of like self-actualization found in that, not a lot of like creative satisfaction per se, but at the same time I can understand those perspectives from like the evolutionary psychological standpoint. It makes sense, but it's sad at the same time because it really just you're like I don't know, I just really dislike thinking of people as being just like monkeys, you know what I mean? Like I don't really like thinking about people as being monkeys, even though a lot of the times it seems as if though humans are like a mix of like we're obviously different than most animals to a degree, but the fact that we're sort of like self-observant and almost like self-reflectory to a large degree, but at the same time like understanding that we're animals that chase after like some sort of spiritual poetic side, but we're also like very much held back from our like physical monkey side. It's just weird. Johnny Sins, well, Johnny Sins, you're spreading your seed everywhere. You're just gonna keep populating the earth, dude. It's a beautiful morning. Reject modernity, embrace monkey. I know, that's what I'm saying. It's been too long, Buttersock. Welcome. Oh, you joined Zoom? Oh, interesting. So whenever you join Zoom, it turns off the background stuff. I wonder if that is like built into it or something. Yeah, we do need a certain amount of younger people to take care of the elderly. This is true. I've always been curious about like, if you've ever seen that movie, I don't know if anybody is familiar with it, but Children of Men. It takes place in the UK in a pretty like dystopian future, and humankind can no longer have children. And I think in the beginning of the movie, one of the youngest people that was alive, who was like 23 or something in the movie, was killed or whatever. And I don't know. I don't know why in the movie like people just suddenly couldn't have babies, but then there was like some girl who was, uh, pregnant, and they didn't know why, and like that she's like, they're really trying to protect her. But it is a good movie. This is something that happens constantly to me, and I'm actually at work at typing this out because it just happened again. 3 months ago, starting work at a packing warehouse. Oops. Anthony has, with the $2, says, made it to work, y'all. Nice. The eagle has landed, baby. The eagle has landed. The evil plague doctor with the 2 says, Corn Pop. Corn Pop is soon to be Speaker of the House. Well, throughout history, when a more advanced person or even nation comes across a more primitive person or nation, the outcome is usually disastrous for the primitive. And it is even believed that this way of thinking is ingrained into the human mind. What is that related to? Or what are we talking about? I mean, yeah, old people are very important to culture. I don't really think our culture like really reveres, at least in the Western culture, like reveres the elderly the same way that other cultures do, which kind of sucks because, I don't know, a lot of people are just getting thrown into nursing homes and shit, and nursing homes are really sad places, like, especially working there as like, having worked there as a nurse and stuff, and just kind of observing, like, it is difficult dealing with old people, especially as they become more burdensome on the younger population. But it's just sad to kind of like watch whenever the family comes to visit, but you can tell that they just kind of like when they come to visit, and you can tell they just want to get the fuck out of there, and it's just kind of sad. Joel, I know it's super random, but you ever done or tried a Louis C.K. impersonation? I think you'd nail it. Louis C.K., I'm trying to think like what he would even... I feel like I've used a lot of his jokes and stuff. Like I like whenever he said the jokes, he's like, my body is just like, it looks like a mother dog with like her tits hanging down. Like I just thought that was really funny. Describing his like stomach as like being like a new mother dog. I don't know, it's so funny. You do now want to end up in a nursing home, or you do not want to end up in a nursing home. It feels so bad for the people stuck in there. I know, yeah. I really hope. I mean, my grandmother on my mom's side, she's, at her end of life, and I'm thankful that, there's people in the family like my mom that put a lot of time to like helping her and take care of her so that she doesn't have to go to a nursing home, which then also to a degree it's like, thank God she had 8 kids, because at least some of them will be around to help you out and shit. But oh, Pez, you've seen Louis C.K. live? I wonder if he's doing any live shows recently. That'd be interesting. Buttersock with the 7 Canadian says, old people fought for our democracy, we owe them our life. This is true. Western civilization is made up of a bunch of idol worshippers. Yeah, we all worship something, Nursing home horror stories. Louis C.K., you did a voice in the previous live stream as a character finding dog poop in a bag, and it was exactly the same voice Louis uses for characters just by chance, and I lolled. Huh, I wonder, finding dog poop in... Yeah, I listen to a lot of stand-up comedians, or I did more so in the past. I feel like stand-up comedy kind of fell off in the past 4 years. Like, it wasn't, like, heralded or, like, held up to a degree that it was in the previous years. Like, I feel like comedy kind of fell off. Even though, obviously there was a time where Dave Chappelle had some pretty mainstream stand-up sets that people were talking about because of Netflix and stuff like that. But I feel like a lot of like advertising revenue hasn't been spent in the direction of stand-up comedians as much lately. But I used to watch a lot of stand-up comedy and watch a lot of Louis, Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, all those kinds of guys. And yeah, the voices that they do, they kind of stick with you. I am Louis C.K. Not quite. Okay. 3 months ago, I started working at a packing warehouse. I'm the youngest one here, being only 19, and it's barely any other females here. The women's bathroom literally has only one stall, and since the virus, it's supposed to be one person in the bathroom at a time. This wasn't a problem for a while until one of my coworkers, we'll call her Jane, started following me into the bathroom. At first, I didn't care, as sometimes she would come in while I was in there, and I would see her feet by the door. I just assumed she was waiting to go. Then I started to notice that she would only go as soon as I went in. I gave her the benefit of the doubt for a few weeks, up until recently when I would see her standing right in front of the stall while I was there. I could see her through the cracks, and she would just stand there still with a blank expression. I thought she was just a creep. Other people started to notice when she would literally just leave the bathroom, and I would go in after her, and she would just... Oops. Up until recently when I would see her standing right there. I thought she was other people. Oh, okay. You're in a community helping old people stay out of homes? That's pretty nice. You're going to a store because of munchies? I'm nowhere near the level of destruction I've caused. I have destroyed many people's mind through these live streams. Other people started to notice when she would literally just leave the bathroom, and I would go in after her, and she would just go right back in. She only did this with me. And when I left, she would leave without using the bathroom. All around the factory, I see her staring at me. This weirds me out so bad, but she hasn't really done anything else. I mean, we've never even spoke to each other. Up until 5 minutes ago. She came in again while I was in the stall. She walked closer to the stall door and started to tap on it. She kept whispering, "I want to come in with you." I'm freaked out, so I yelled at her no. She started to raise her voice, still saying that she wanted to come in. I screamed at her to leave. I was scared for my life, thinking that she would slide under at the bottom. She just laughed and said she'll get me tonight. I'm getting off super late tonight, and I go home alone. I honestly don't know what to do. I'm still in the stall, pretty shaking up. You would donate but got no money to donate? No worries. Yeah, don't feel bad if you can't, I'm honestly, people who donate, I appreciate them just wanting to do that, but, don't ever feel obligated to donate at all. I still like to chat with you guys, because some people, there's a Twitch meme where it's like, if, the Twitch streamer is, only talking to people who donate or something, and they call it, paywall. I forget, it was, some stupid Twitch meme where it was, paywall, but I like to avoid people, I don't want you guys to think that's the only way I communicate. I'm still in the stall, pretty shaken up, okay. I'm still in the stall, pretty shaken up, writing this now. I'm unsure of what she's capable of, but clearly, this lady is nuts. Alright, so we got 2 more stories. Also, you guys may have seen Dead Leaf Clover has been in the chat. She's one of the mods in the Discord and stuff, but she's got a YouTube channel where she narrates, and she's gonna be at the end of this video with one of her stories. So hopefully you guys will appreciate her reading and subscribe to her if you're feeling it. Narrations keep thousands of you sane. Thanks for what you do. You're welcome, Megan. Thank you for the kind words. I hope everyone's staying sane out there. You're crazy sore from the varsity swim. We swam over 5,000 yards yesterday. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, swimming is just one of those things where I'm like, I liked it. I mean, my parents had a pool growing up, which was fun. I feel like I didn't use it as much as I should. But I mean, if I had to do swimming for literal cardio, I feel like I would have asphyxiated and drowned on water at some point. Alright, so this one's kind of long. It's called The Third Roommate. At 19, I moved out for the first time with an old friend, Nathan. We rented a 2-bedroom, basement-level apartment for a year together, and at first, things were great. It was like having a long-term sleepover with your best friend, and we were able to have our own alone time in the apartment because we worked opposite schedules. I worked a retail job during the day, and Nathan worked overnights. For a month or two, we had a good thing going. He'd work, and I'd be home, and vice versa. We'd stay up late playing video games when our schedules aligned. The first thing I noticed that was odd was my closet in my bedroom. In the master bedroom, there was a small walk-in closet, and I noticed the carpet in the corners looked as if it had been dug out by an animal. There were also several gaps in the walls along the edges of the carpet. At first, this seemed no different, really, from the general cheap apartment disarray and maintenance issues. This didn't scare me at first. I figured someone had an overexcited pup and left it alone. It started off with little things at first. I'd think I'd hear Nathan calling my name, and I'd respond only to hear that he'd already been at work for hours. Leading to our bedrooms was a long hallway that seemed to make us both uncomfortable. The hallway light would be left on as often as possible, and we laughed it off as a childhood fear of the dark. I think we were both too skeptical to talk about how we'd occasionally think we'd seen the other person walk out of the hallway, only to realize that we're alone. On more than one occasion, I'd had a friend sleep over who'd complained that they were kept awake at night by the constant flickering of the hallway light. My roommate and I tried our best to be respectful of each other's schedules. If I knew that he'd just come home in the morning and was sleeping, I tried my best to stay quiet when heading to work. One morning, Nathan told me that while he'd been relaxing in his room after work getting ready for sleep, he'd heard footsteps in the hallway and the door to my room being shaken. At first, he thought it was me rushing around getting ready for work, but he was concerned because I was being much louder than normal. He looked over at his alarm clock and realized that I should have been at work by this time and says he decided to check on me. He opened his door and looked down the hall towards my room. He says he froze when he saw a dark figure standing outside my door. In that moment, he realized, whoops. No spammies. Do I like paintings? I like paintings, I guess, I feel like I don't get to see many of them. I like art, in general. I like this one subreddit. It's called Imaginary Landscapes. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but it's like a really cool... It's really cool. Just like really talented artists on there. Buttersock, you like to paint? What's my setup? Yes, I have an AKG C214 microphone that goes into my UAC2 Zoom mixer that then goes into my computer, and that's what mic I use to stream. And then for right next to it, I have another mic that I record into called an H4n, and I used that. What music do I listen to? I listen to like pretty much everything. I had some music custom made for the stream by a guy. It's got like, we were just listening to it. It was like synthwave stuff. Synthwave is really cool. And then the chill hop playlist as well. Definitely going to get those up on the podcast here at some point. You like painting my mom? Thanks. What color do you paint her? All sorts of color. 70s sci-fi alien landscapes are the bee's knees. I know, right? Honestly, I haven't ever. If you guys come across like a modern, 70s sci-fi artist that like matches my style for my banner and my profile picture, please direct me in their direction, because the only person I've come across is someone who does collages of old 70s sci-fi stuff, and it looks really cool, and it definitely matches that style, and like, all the collages go together really beautifully. But I haven't like found anybody that actually matches that 70s sci-fi art style, which is really weird to me. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'm just surprised that maybe people don't have the time for that, or maybe their style just isn't that, or maybe like there was just something really unique about that time that, people all kind of had very similar styles, but I just don't see that anymore. Ryan Upchurch. I never heard of Ryan Upchurch. In that moment, he said he rationalized it by saying he thought I was just running late for work, had gotten embarrassed at being caught, and ducked into my room. He retreated back to his room and said that he hadn't heard anything else for the rest of the day. He never heard me say anything or leave, and opted to forget about it, even when I came home later and confirmed I hadn't been late that morning. As time progressed in that apartment, we both constantly were irritable and tired. It felt impossible to rest in that apartment, especially when I was alone. Nathan would sometimes chalk this up to being nervous as a woman alone in an apartment at night. I'd spend my nights Wait, what? Nathan? Did I read that right? Nathan would sometimes chalk this up to being nervous as a woman alone in the... Oh, him. Or talking about her, or... I don't fucking know. Surrealism is my favorite genre of art. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Am I a sneakerhead? What's a sneakerhead? I'm sure most artists could do it as long as you give references. I know, it's just like a weird thing where like there's a ton of like 70s sci-fi art that you see being produced that was, obviously made in the 70s, 60s, 50s or whatever, like that had that vibe, but you just don't see that vibe being... Maybe it just took too long, I don't know. Natalie Smith with the 5 says, been subscribed for a long time. Thanks for the videos that helped me a lot during stressful times. Currently escaping midterms this week with stories. Oh, midterms already. I thought schools were like kind of just getting back, but I know some people have like trimesters and stuff, so. But thank you, Natalie. Thank you. Nathan would sometimes chalk this up to me being nervous as a woman alone in an apartment at night. I'd spend my nights huddled on the end of the couch furthest from the hallway, tucked in a blanket under the lamp. On more than one occasion, this is where I slept, as it felt more secure than walking down that hallway to my room. I'm awoken one morning in my bed by the sound of someone trying to beat down my bedroom door. I jolt awake and ice settles in my veins. The banging on the door is desperate, and I can see the door shaking under the weight of the hits. Immediately, I'm Fuck. What do you guys think about like fish oils or like hemp oil, where it has like the omega-3s, 6s, and 9s? Like, what do you guys think about that for like, use for like joints and stuff like that? Because I found something else. It's called like glucosamine or something like that. And it's got curcumin in it. Supposedly it's good for your joints if you're doing like lifting and working out or whatever. But I don't know if any of you guys have any experience or knowledge related to that. Fish oil gives you pimples. Dang. I avoided fish oils because I heard that sometimes they can go spoiled inside of the capsule, whereas like hemp oil has the same benefits but doesn't spoil, I guess. CBD creams. I bolt out of bed and rip open my door, and once again I'm met with sudden silence in an empty hallway. Oops, sorry, I think I skipped a fucking thing. Immediately I'm concerned that our apartment flooded. Oh. Immediately I'm concerned that our apartment's flooded. We've been robbed or something happened to Nathan. I bolt out of bed and rip open my door, and once again I'm met with sudden silence in an empty hallway. Fearful I've misheard where the knocks were, I go down the hall to our main door and check outside, and there's no one yet. Fuck, I suck. It's for oil paint. Oh, okay. Linseed oil for oil paints. Turmeric is a good source for vegan curcumin. Oh, is the curcumin in turmeric or something like that? I thought they were like two separate things. You found out that the neighborhood, the street near your neighborhood is called Old Comer's Way. That's funny. Daddy's Cummy's Street. Ever met Mr. Nightmare? I have not. No. He is a very private individual. I've never talked to him, and I think the only people I know who have talked to him are like people like Corpse and people that are more popular than myself. I bolt out of bed and rip open my door, and once again I'm met with sudden silence in an empty hallway. Fearful I've misheard where the knocks were, I go down the hallway to our main door and check outside, and there's no one yet again. I sit down on the couch in the living room, unable to go back to sleep even if I wanted to. When I realized Nathan had been home, I chalked it up to him sleepwalking, and he confesses later that he'd had repetitive nightmares that morning, but doesn't believe that he'd been able to walk in his sleep. His room was small, and he'd taken up most of the main space with a weight set that he'd have to crawl over to enter and leave. I later had to reason as well that in the time that it had taken me to open the door, he would have had to sprint back to his room and slam the door shut to avoid me seeing or hearing it. As weird as this was, the worst was yet to come. We've had a disagreement before Nathan went to work, and I had been laying in my bed, still a little angry and watching videos on my phone until I could doze off. When he worked overnights, his job was close enough to our apartment that he'd come home for lunch almost every night. So, when I heard the door creak open at 3 a.m., I wasn't uneasy at first. I heard the various sounds of him in the apartment, opening cabinets and walking around. I roll over, upset because he is being much louder than normal, and immediately I feel my heart drop into my stomach. Nathan would always turn the lights on when he came home. It was reassuring on the nights I was in my room to see the hallway light seep through the door frame to let me know I wasn't alone in the apartment anymore. But this night, when I rolled back over, there was no reassuring light coming from around the closed door. It's pitch black. My heartbeat quickened immediately, and I messaged Nathan to ask if he'd come home, but I got no response. I strained my ears to listen, and when I hear sounds, nothing like normal. Oh, whoops. Daddy's Cummy Street. Turmeric is amazing for pain. You can open the fish oil capsule and taste it to be sure it's okay. Glucosamine hasn't shown to have any sure effect, but it's still recommended since it doesn't have any side effects. I've heard that they have help often we have too much omega-6 and the imbalance affects our joints and brains. Oh, I heard that they help as we often have too much omega-6 And the imbalance effect. Yeah, I remember hearing something about like omega-6 was negative, but it was really just in passing. What about B Busta? Yeah, me and B Busta have talked quite a bit in the past, and he's a really nice guy. An Aussie, Australian. Use turmeric in your food as it seems to settle your stomach. Not sure if it's been documented much, but it seems to help me anyway. Oh, that's good, yeah. After exercising, decreases blood markers of inflammation, oxidative stress. Nice. Indian foods have loads of turmeric. Yeah, is turmeric just naturally in like curry powder and stuff like that? Or, I don't know. Curry sauce, curry, different stuff like that. Would be good to include it, I suppose. Hi from Portugal. Hello, I'm wrong, but. B-Busta, Lazy, and me are the only ones who listen to religiously. Nice, yeah, Lazy and B-Busta are honestly two very fantastic fellows. I strain my ears to listen, and what I hear sounds nothing like normal. There's footsteps running around the apartment and coming down the hall to my door, then running away. Doors opening and closing and cabinets creaking. In that moment, I was so absolutely sure we were being robbed, and I began to cry. I didn't know how to deal with this, and what I'd heard sounded so angry and chaotic outside my door. Tearfully, I grabbed a knife and... Oh, fuck. Whoops. Tearfully, I grabbed a knife that I kept under my pillow. Because the apartment walls and doors were so thin, I couldn't have called 911 quietly enough to save myself. My instinct in that moment was to fight and deal with the consequences later. I stood just behind my door, listened to the footsteps run towards me, braced myself, and when I heard them start to fade down the hall, I ripped open the door to surprise my attacker. I'm met with absolutely nothing but silence and darkness. I stared down the black, empty hallway, adamant that they're hiding from me. I'm frozen in place, staring down the hall, waiting to hear anything. The front door is in clear view from my position, and it's still closed. Whoever it was has to still, I see. The way the UK and the US pronounce different words has me in stitches. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like, YouTube. Oi, get on YouTube. Even though it's a T, we pronounce it like a CH. Chia pet. Where's a cat? I don't know. Where is a cat? What made me want to do YouTube? I don't know. I just wanted to creatively, I wanted to pursue something creative and make a living doing it, and I never expected it to take off, and here I am on YouTube. Fish and tallywhackers. Sarah with the 5 says, thanks for helping me get through work today. Hope everyone has a good day. Thank you, Sarah. Hope you have a good one too. Thank you. Thank you for Shudder. You're welcome. Yeah, I hope it wasn't too confusing utilizing the Let's Read code. Because I think like the way it works is like whenever you're making an account for Shudder, you just apply the Let's Read code to that checkout, and that's what gives you 30 days for free. So if you already have an account, I don't know if you can do that, but I believe it's every time when you make a new account. I have to do an accent all throughout. No, people would be so frustrated probably. They're like, you fucking suck at that voice, mate. I'm gonna cover you in fish and tallywhackers. The evil plague doctor with the 2 says, because skeleton astronaut. Thanks. Thank you. Whoever it was has to still be here. I scan the room at the end of the hall. I feel a lump in my throat as I lock my eyes on a large, dark figure peering around the corner at the end of the hall. I take off down the hall and whip around the corner, ready again to fight, but there's no one in my apartment. When I turn on all the lights and check, the door was shut and locked. All the windows are locked. Nathan's room is empty and there's nothing out of place. All the cabinets and drawers I'd heard being ripped open are closed, all the tables still upright. My body in this moment reacts in a way I wouldn't expect. I go from overwhelming fear to complete calm. I shove what's happened to the back of my mind, walk in my room, lock the door and go to bed, dead asleep within seconds. To cope, my brain shoved this memory to the depths, and it only resurfaced months later after I had moved out when Nathan and I finally divulged all of our experiences together. For the remainder of my time in the apartment, the tiredness and irritability continues. Even my sanctuary of the living room is compromised, as I would awake many times in the middle of the night to see a dark figure walking out of the hallway towards the couch, disappearing when I turned my head to look. Things would fall over. I'd hear knocks on my bedroom door, and more I was questioning my own sanity. Eventually, when I couldn't take it anymore and things financially weren't well with the apartment, I decided to move back home. Within a month, I was back to feeling like myself again. We're still not entirely sure what was in that apartment, but we have some theories. I feel it's important to preface our theory with this. Not too long after moving into this apartment, I had taken to practicing Wicca and paganism. I don't say this to add horror, but rather to explain what we believe happened. In my early practicing, I would fill my room with cleansing materials like quartz stones and sage to cleanse before spells and maintain an energy in my room. We suspected whatever was in our apartment had originated in my closet, and that whoever was in my room before had done something sinister in there. The rips in the carpet, and the gaps in the walls with small objects just out of view of the flashlight. We were too scared of fines that we would get for destroying the closet to lift up the carpet and check what may have been underneath. It's been theorized that I had unknowingly driven whatever darkness lived in that closet out, and had spent the rest of the time I lived there desperate to come back in. The longer it was kept out, the angrier it got, and the more we took it out on each other. Later, when I moved out, things continued to worsen for my roommate who remained. He was constantly tired and angry and fell into a dark headspace. The spirit was able to get back in my room after I left, and the girl who lived in my room after me said she was plagued with nightmares and had been locked out of the room on many occasions, even though the door locked from inside. She'd try it and the door would be locked, then later she'd try it again and the door would somehow open. Nathan would send me videos of doors opening in the apartment on our own, and the TV suddenly showing black and white cable static in the middle of DVDs and YouTube videos. My roommate was able to move out of the apartment a while ago, and we've both been doing better. Slowly, as time has gone on, we've shared a lot of our experiences had in that apartment with each other, and both are glad that we came out of it okay. It made quite the believer out of my roommates as well, who remained reluctant to acknowledge it until his final... Fuck. It made... Actually, I feel like I didn't stop the last recording. It made quite the believer out of my roommates as well, who remained reluctant to acknowledge it until his final few months there. Apartments are funny places. You never really know how many people have lived their lives in that exact same space. It sounded weird. Apartments are funny places. You never really know how many people have lived their lives in that exact same space, what they may have left behind or done in the room where you lay your head at night. Maybe there was something in that apartment, something left there over... Dude, I don't know why I can't, finish these last sentences. Maybe there was something in that apartment, something left over from whoever came before. Or maybe it can all be chalked up to late nights, bad dreams, and miscommunication. In the end, what you choose to believe is up to you. All right. See, I like those paranormal stories. I feel like that one sounded like, more authentic, or it sounded authentic, or I feel like every paranormal story that's been submitted, they kind of have like a certain tone to them where it's not a lot of like wild detail, and it's not like the paranormal aspects are like, hyper in their face, but it's always very subtle. It's like a very subtle type of fear that just leaves people in a state of like curiosity more so than just like outright primal fear. Okay. Last story. You're doing the end of the story noise in your head. That's funny. Hydrate or dihydrate? I hope this helps any girl that feels stuck in a relationship. This was unfortunately a pretty long relationship that has stuck with me in bad ways. I'm gonna call him C. I wasn't looking for a relationship when I met C. He was so sweet when I met him, very gentlemanly and very handsome. The honeymoon of our relationship was fantastic, as they always are, but when it was over, boy, it was over. I didn't have a job when we met and received one later down the road. So full-time job, what the hell? It says, so full-time job, full-time, oh, I see. Final round, fight. Repster, you filmed a UFO? What was it? What did it look like? You should post it to the subreddit. Bathwater with the 5 Canadian says motivation. Thank you, Bathwater. Garcias. So full-time job, full-time college student now. He would ask when my shift started and ended. I had 2 texts. What? K. Rennie Warren with the 5 odds said, could you please get Pradeep to meow in the microphone one time? That would be amazing. Meow. He's not really like a meower, I guess, if that makes any sense. He purrs, when I hold him sometimes. But like his meows are like really random. Like he does meow like when he wants out. Like when he wants something or wants to get your attention, he meows. Like there's sometimes where we like startle each other, I guess, or like like when I came back from the bathroom and he was kind of like sitting on my one table, and I like he kind of like startled me, like that he was there, and then he just makes like this like like I'm here kind of thing. But like I'm trying to think of like other times. I guess like sometimes when I've snuck up on him, but I don't try to scare him. I just like try to like sneak up on him, and then I'm behind him, and then he like looks up real quick and he like meows almost like, I don't know. I'm not even sure what he's trying to say. Like, but he's like, you got, almost like a "you got me" type thing. He's very soft, if that helps. The Evil Plague Doctor with a 5 says, I shall join in this motivation. Thank you guys for the support. Seriously, appreciate it, mate. But I've had friends' cats who like fucking meow nonstop, and it's bad. But Pradeep's pretty good about just being himself. And Rennie Warren with another 5 says a purr would also be great. Yeah, I wonder if I could. I feel bad. He's like so comfortable there that if I pick him up. Can I subscribe to you? Sorry, any like self-promotion in the chat, it just gets like, it gets blurred out, so nobody can even see the message. But I don't mind people asking me to like subscribe or whatever, but I feel like I can't, like, I gotta be like subscribed to something I, want to watch, and if I'm not familiar with your content, I can't just like subscribe to it. I sound like I'm 24. No, I am 30 years old. But I feel like I'm just like perpetually stuck in my 20s. Yeah, sorry, Polar. Every time you like, if you type like, could you subscribe to me, like YouTube automatically picks up on it and like blacks out your text. So it's not even really worth trying. You're wearing a cat dress right now. Nice. I'm a cat boy. All right. I see. So full-time job, full-time college student now. He would ask when my shifts started and ended. I had to text him throughout my time in class or at work, or he would freak. I would tell him I couldn't text, but it didn't matter. He actually came up to my college when the class had a break, sat next to me in class because I wasn't answering his texts. He didn't want me to give any attention to my friends, especially my male friends. One of my male friends I'd known since I was 4. I actually blocked him and quit talking to him because C asked. He had succeeded in isolating me from everyone. If he came and visited me at work, it was always bad. A customer would smile at me or be too nice, and it would be a massive fight when we got home. Yelling. I mean yelling. The type you can't understand the person, they are so angry. I received that every day. I remember him shoving me, pushing me down, hitting something I was sitting by, even him punching holes in walls. I was horrified of this guy. I was always fiercely loyal to him, yet he always accused me of cheating. I couldn't interact with a man of any age at all. I was terrified to leave him. He had made threats against me before. I remember a time during a fight that he had stopped Sorry. Buttersock with the 5 Canadian says 5 maple syrup dollars for Pradeep's cat food. Do you guys have like a favorite cat food that you use? Because I can't. I know what the package looks like, but I get it like I bought like 4 of them in the past at once. So like I like have, so it's like once a month almost, or no, almost like more than once a month for a bag, and I sort of can't remember what it's called. I forget. Wait, Repster, did you post it on the subreddit? Or the Discord too, would be cool. Ugh. Whiskas. Oh, you use Whiskas cat food? You were just practicing your scary storytelling voice? Nice. Are you getting good? Would I ever date someone older or younger than me more than 5 years? I think so. I mean, if I'm 30, I guess that would make them 25, and then older would be 35. So as long as we vibe, like I don't really mind, as long as me and the person have stuff to talk about and can like laugh about shit, it's whatever. Listen to the podcast while taking a bath. It's the perfect time. Oh, you have to edit the video because it shows where you live. Yeah, be sure to protect your identity. I remember a time during a fight that he stopped walking up to me quick. Wait, he stopped? This is a weird sentence. I remember a time during a fight he stopped. Oh, I see. I forgot a comma. I remember a time during a fight where he stopped, walked up to me quickly, and yanked me into a hug. The way he did it and looked at me made me burst into sobs of fear as soon as he touched me. Mind you, this man was my dream guy. He held doors open for me, always surprised me with thoughtful gifts, and was incredibly affectionate and shared interests I had. I went from loving him to fearing him with every fiber of my being. I lived by my folks. They never heard us fight. I have no idea how. If they came over during a fight, he would flip a switch and become that old guy I loved. I felt alone. If I tried to bring it up with anyone, they'd mentioned he was so sweet. I must have just done something wrong. My own father stood up for him so much. Eventually, the evil shown through my dad helped me kick him out. Eventually the evil shown through my dad helped me kick him out. Oh, Origin. Yeah, that's what I use. The Origin cat food, yeah. Your storytelling voice and normal voice sound the same. Low-key couldn't tell if you were telling a story or not. Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, a lot of people are kind of like taken aback by whenever, like right now, my talking voice and my reading voice, like they're like, wow, it's weird to hear you switch between them, but I guess it's kind of good if they maintain similarities. Mind you, this was my dream, dude. My own father said, okay. Eventually, the evil shown through my dad helped me. Okay, I don't know. I don't really know what that sentence is trying to say, but. Eventually, the evil shown through my dad helped me kick him out. It was awful. He texted me telling I never loved him. I wouldn't have done this to him if I loved him. When the text almost vanished, I thought it was over. I was again very wrong. This man would drive by my house twice a day. If I was gone, he'd tell me so, ask me where I was, and even tried to find me a few times. As I know this is a very long post, and it's very short to describe all the things I've experienced, I'll wrap this situation up. I met a man that was wonderful. C stalked and threatened him as well, and with this man, helped and... He's licking the fucking bag. Come on. Secure the bag. Secure the bag by licking it. Okay, to wrap this, I met a man that was very wonderful. C stalked and threatened him as well. With this man's help, With this man's help, I ended that situation. He told me how nothing I did made him treat me that way. It was C that was in the wrong. He told me I wasn't alone in this, and I didn't have to just take the abuse I was still receiving, that there was always a way out. All I had to do was reach out. C really changed me, in many ways. I'm not the same anymore. If anyone shows any aggression towards me, I don't cower. I become stronger. This man put me through absolute hell, and I made it out to the other side. Please, please, ladies, do not let yourselves be stuck in this. There is a man out there that will love you for the beautiful woman you are, and won't try to cage you. Stay free. Never change the beautiful person you were meant to be. Oh yeah, so yeah, I'm live now, even though that was the last story. I know it's kind of sporadic sometimes, but I usually would be live the day before uploads, so like Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, but I just missed yesterday because I was sleeping all day into the night, and figured, hey, I'm up, I'm recording, might as well stream it. So I know I don't get as many people present for the daytime streams, but sometimes you get new faces, which is nice. Marie with the 5 says, thank you for the wonderful live feed and always doing a great job. Everyone and Joe, stay safe and have a great day and night. Thank you, Marie. Thank you. How do you get to see what I look like? I guess you could just, if there's like some sort of forensic machine that could use the vibrations of my voice to like recreate a 3D structure of my face, if you have one of those machines, you could do that. But Other than that, I don't know how. You plan on sleeping all day today? Nice. Sleep is good, and it's peaceful and it heals your body. It's like while you're sleeping, your immune system's... Are you depressed? Sometimes, I guess. I don't know. It just depends. It's winter. Winter sucks. I feel better when I'm chatting with you guys, though, and chatting with people. But, yeah. We made it. We made it to the end. You live in a studio, but I have plenty of blankets. Nice. Joel needs a hug. A big old wet hug. We already discussed the beard. Yeah, the live stream's happening right now. Oh, it's 5:15 in the UK. What time is it here? It's noon, 12:05. So you guys are about 5 hours ahead in the UK. Yeah, normally I do stream. I would have streamed last night, but like I said, I was just kind of out of it. Let me read this outro if you guys think of something funny to say. Hey friends, thanks for listening. Click that notification bell to be alerted of all future narrations. If you got a story, be sure to submit them to my subreddit, r/letsreadofficial, and give and receive feedback from the community and maybe even hear your story featured on the next video. And join a live stream to catch an invite to the Discord. And if you want to support me even more, grab early access to all future narrations for just $1 a month on Patreon, and maybe even pick up some Let's Read merch on Spreadshirt. And check out the Let's Read podcast, where you can hear all these stories in long compilation form and save huge on data, located anywhere you listen to podcasts. Links in the bio. Thanks so much, friends. And remember, hydrate or dihydrate. Just kidding. I don't know if we'll use that one or not. But Plague Doctor with another 5 says, Plague Doctor out. Have a good day, sir. Thank you, Plague Doctor. Thank you for your support, and I hope you have a good one. Thank you. Let's see. Should we do the hydrate or dihydrate or work at the USPS store? And we listen to your videos every day. Nice. Thanks, Liz. Somebody was saying they work in a Amazon warehouse or something and play it over the warehouse, and it's just, I don't know, I think that's cool. I remember Jensen said when he worked at Walmart or something, he would play my stuff over the loudspeakers. Yeah, fish oil sometimes spoils in the capsule. I think I will say that. I feel like that's a good PSA to everyone. Thanks so much, friends. And remember, fish oil sometimes spoils in the capsule. I feel like they had to have figured out some way to keep them from spoiling. You know what I mean? It just seems weird to me that would be a consistent issue and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we have arrived at the end. I still got another 7 hours before the video will release, but I will be editing and all that kind of stuff. I think oh shit. Ooh. Malika L with the $50 donation, the biggest of the night. Thank you, Malika. My goodness. Says, thanks for the AM stream. Made my day. I appreciate your work ethic and upload consistency. Thank you, Malika. Thank you. That definitely makes me want to stick with it here, seriously. And I appreciate the support, seriously. Holy hell. Thank you so much. When is the next stream? So new video, out in 7 hours. New videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're going to adjust your times from there. But usually streaming every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday night. You know, I like to start. It seems like my starting times are sometime between like 8 and 10 p.m., you know, Eastern time, but it really, really depends. But, you know, follow me on Twitter at Let's Read Creepy to be kept up to date with all of the new videos, because I will always, you know, if I'm live streaming, I'll post them there. Join the Discord. The Discord gives you automatic updates when I go live or new videos come out, so you always be notified. You know, hit the notification bell. I can't guarantee it's always going to work on YouTube. It's a little shoddy, as they don't all, you know, notify everyone about everything. But I guess their reasoning behind that is that, you know, they think too many notifications sometimes makes people like turn off notifications. So I don't know. And yeah, also go follow my TikTok. Just made a TikTok. I'm now currently uploading the animations from 2-sentence horror stories on there now. I know some people were very sad that I joined TikTok, but it is what it is. And Jensen said you can, you know, actually make a living on there. So I'm like, okay, that'd be interesting. Do I have Parler? No, I never made a Parler. I've never actually been on Parler before, but I've heard of it. And yeah, so go there. You know, give me ideas on what kind of content you'd like to hear on TikTok. They have to be like a minute long, so it'd probably just be like shorter narrations or different ideas. Maybe we'll see. Catch a vibe on what that's all about. If you guys, you know, I was thinking like maybe doing some visuals in the background, like people doing like quick drawings of shit. So if you guys like ever do like speed drawings that are like a minute long and you want to send it to me, I can put those in the background of like some of the narrations I do in the future. That'd be cool. Some sort of collaboration there, but we shall see whatever pans out there. But yeah, do the renegade. Guys, thank you again for being here and supporting me. I really appreciate it. Like I said, new video will be out in 7 hours on YouTube, and I'll have it up early access on Patreon, probably here within like 2 or 3 hours, and all that kind of stuff. So keep an eye out for that. It's only $1 a month for early access on Patreon. But either way, appreciate you guys. Be well, have a good day, stay safe out there, and stay healthy, and live life, you know. Don't be afraid. Adios.